Hey, everybody, we are back. And in just a matter of seconds, we're going to get started with the second leg of our Super Bowl interviews for the day, this time featuring the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, and Travis Kelce, and who else do we have here in this complement to this group of stars? This Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Andrew Wiley, Tyreek Hill, Podium 4, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, Anthony Hitchens. Let's see here. It says no availability for day yet. No, it's now. It says join now. So we will join now with Mr. Mahomes and open Zoom. Let's see here. Join webinar. We're waiting for him to come back here. And as we're waiting, we'll go. Excuse me. I believe that's him coming in now. Coming. I believe he's coming in to sit down.
Jack, let me say that. That was Bones told me, and then you gave me somebody gave me those headphones. They handed them to me. I handed them to you. You don't have to care. You're gonna do it.
And there he is.
We won't be on until 3. Sydney's gonna moderate you, so if you want to look on your phone for a few more minutes here, hang out.
Can I see what I look like? Why am I so close?
He's got the mask.
And then once we leave, we can do the math properly.
Hey, Brad.
We're still waiting. We're waiting. As you can see, Patrick is waiting to get the go ahead before he gets the go ahead. And so we're waiting along with him, if you will. Let's see here.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
baby coming along?
Good. End of February. Yeah, so it's coming up.
Good afternoon, everybody. We will go ahead and start taking questions for Patrick Mahomes. Let's start with Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
You hear me?
Gotcha.
Awesome. First, I wanted to ask just how different this media day has been. Tom talked about just sitting in an empty room versus having a room full of people and music going. How different has this Super Bowl experience been for you? And I got one more follow-up.
Yeah, I mean it's very different. Obviously, just sitting in the empty room and not at the even in the city of the Super Bowl. It's a unique experience. I'm sure Tom has a few more experiences than I do, but from last year to this year, definitely a different experience.
And then we're going to have a little fun here since this Super Bowl media day. There was a thread earlier this year that compared NFL starting quarterbacks to rappers. So we're going to start with Lamar Jackson. He was compared to Roddy Ricch because he has a great impact on the game in his early career. J. Cole was compared to Russell Wilson because he was kind of a do-it-all guy who carried his team on his back. And your comparison here was Lil Uzi Vert. I wonder if you're a Lil Uzi Vert fan and who you're listening to.
I am a Lil Uzi Vert fan. I don't know how that comparison goes, but I mean, I am a big fan of his. But I listen to all those guys, man. I keep it versatile. I listen to all types of music.
Appreciate the time.
Let's go next to Omar Ruiz. Go ahead, Omar.
Hey, Patrick. Good to see you, man.
Good seeing you.
Obviously, you guys went 14-2, had a great record. But I'm curious, what do you think has been the most challenging or difficult aspect of this kind of run-it-back season in trying to win the Super Bowl back-to-back years?
Yeah, I think it was just keeping everybody focused every single week, every single day, and trying to improve. It speaks to the leaders that we have in this locker room, that we were able to kind of grind through and find ways to win games. But you can definitely feel the intensity pick up as the playoffs started, and I think guys are ready to be in this game at this moment.
Let's go next to Liam Fox. Go ahead, Liam.
Hey, Patrick. I just wanted to ask about the matchup with Levante David and Devin White. And, what type of challenges do they pose specifically having two, high-level inside linebackers lining up next to each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that both of those guys do is they can defend the run just as well as they defend the pass. And to have a lot of linebackers with that much speed and then have to be able to get in the run game and be able to pop and throw their body around and make stops. It's a special group of guys. And so they're definitely someone that I have to pay attention to every single play because they seem like they just make plays every single game.
Let's go next to Lucas Weiss. Go ahead, Lucas.
Hey, Patrick, thanks for taking the time. Tom Brady was in here earlier, and he was talking about just imparting wisdom to some of the younger quarterbacks. I'm just curious how important that conversation was with you and him after the AFC Championship a couple years ago, and what you learned from that loss as a player and a person.
Yeah, it was very important. For me, I think it was important because it showed that I was doing things the right way. As a young quarterback in this league, you kind of go in, you show up early, and you try to put in the time and put in the work, but you don't really know until you get to that spot of where you want to be at. And losing an AFC Championship game, obviously I didn't get to the Super Bowl, but then him coming in and kind of just saying that he respected what I was doing and how I was playing on the field and the type of person that I was. It kind of just that stamp on me that I needed to go in and even be better in order to get to the Super Bowl, which we did last year. And I was just trying to keep improving and keep getting better every single day.
Let's go next to Diane Rossini. Go ahead, Diana.
Hi, Patrick. Sorry you can't see us.
Y'all good.
That may be a gift, actually, for some of us. So, you know, we've seen in the past, it's so difficult to repeat as Super Bowl champs. So obviously you guys are on the verge of trying to do this. Why do you think it's so hard? Like, what do you think teams have done maybe wrong or perhaps missed out on in trying to repeat? Maybe something that you guys have talked about.
I think it's difficult because this league has so much parity as far as everybody can beat anybody any single week. There's not a lot of leagues, there's not a lot of divisions of football or anything like that that is like that. I mean, literally, you could be the worst team in the league one year and all go to the Super Bowl the next. And I think that just shows the talent that people have in this league. And so for us, we knew that. And instead of just soaking in all the glory of winning the Super Bowl last year, we went back to work. And we went to work every single day to make ourselves better, to prepare ourselves for every single situation that could arise. And it's put us in this game. But we have to keep going because we're playing a great football team. And we want to try to find a way to complete that running back tour.
Let's go next to Arnie Stapleton. Go ahead, Arnie.
Hey, Patrick. Just talking to Shaquille Barrett, and he said how he kind of incorporated a lot of Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware into his game as he was their backup for so many years in Denver. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are of facing Shaq Barrett and where he kind of stands in your mind in the NFL as some of these premier pass rushers.
Yeah, I mean, he's right up there at the top. The thing, I didn't get to play him a lot when he was in Denver, but in the few experiences I did have, and whenever I got to watch Alex play him, you could see how much talent he had, even though he was backing up those guys. He was able to come in and make plays happen and sack the quarterback and be around the football. And so him getting to Tampa Bay, I mean, it's just really shown how talented he was because he's getting more opportunities. And he's another guy on this defense that you have to know where he's at every single time. I mean, last time we played him, he strip sacked me. So I got to make sure I know where he's at on each and every play.
Let's go to Sam Mcdowell next. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, what's up, Patrick?
What's up, man?
I got a couple things for you. First of all, can you kind of describe exactly like where you are right now? Because I wanted to get a gist of how different it is from this time last year on that stage.
Yeah, I'm in a room, just kind of like the back of the PR area. And we're kind of set up with the screen behind me and the light and the camera and all the different stuff. And they must have shipped this camera in, though. I've never seen it before. So, no, it is a lot different than it was last year when we were surrounded by everybody and enjoying media night.
And how much does that change this week of preparation? I mean, does it make it easier at all, the fact that you guys are at your home base right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does. You kind of get in the routine as a football player of you come to the building, you go watch film in this room, you go to practice, you go off to practice, you go back and watch film with these groups of people and at this certain area. And to have that kind of routine stay the same is definitely something that I think will help us go out there and play better even than we did last year. And so it's definitely a different experience, but you just treat it as any other football game and try to prepare yourself in the best way to play your best football.
Thanks, Patrick.
Let's go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Patrick, happy Super Bowl week to you.
Oh.
Hey, Tom Brady just mentioned that a lot of the things he was asked about what he would like to do that you can do. And he said one of them is, throwing further and a couple other things. I'd like to reverse that question. Are there any things of Tom Brady that you would like to do outside of course, winning 6 Super Bowl championships?
Yeah, and there's a ton. I mean, the way he's able to dissect defenses before the snap is something that I truly admire, that I'm trying to get to that level. The way he's able to move within the pocket and to be able to reset his feet and be completely calm and still make the throw right on the money, no matter who's around him, is something that I have to continue to work on. And as I continue in my career, I'm just going to try to do whatever I can to watch the tape on him because he's doing it the right way. And you can tell by how many Super Bowl championships he has and the rings are on his fingers.
Let's go next to Lindsey Jones. Go ahead, Lindsey.
Hi, Patrick. I've got two parts, but they're related here. It seems like we're seeing you everywhere now when we're watching television, different commercials, all those sorts of things. So what has been your strategy kind of through your career, and particularly since you signed the contract last summer, about how you wanted to build your off-field brand, your investments, your portfolio? Are there any athletes that you've kind of modeled yourself after? And then as part of that, why have you and Brittany specifically wanted to invest in the Kansas City athletic community with the Royals and the NWSL?
Yeah, to the first part of your question, I think the biggest thing for me is kind of forming people around me that are great people. The partners that I kind of become partners with, the companies that I represent, they all have great leadership. They all have great people throughout that company. And I like to enhance my brand by being a part of that, being a part of great companies that have done it the right way for a long time. And then to the part about Kansas City, I think the thing with me and Brittany is we want to invest in this community as much as they've invested into us. And as far as me investing in the Royals and becoming a part owner in there, and really that's one of my joys I've always had with baseball. And then her with the NWSL team and bringing them back to Kansas City, a place where women's soccer is really, really emphasized and supported. It's just the tip of the iceberg, and we want to continue to invest in this community to be the best community that it possibly can be.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick. You were joking after the Buffalo game about Tom Brady and saying this was 150 Super Bowls and stuff for him. But wanted to ask you, in all seriousness, what kind of role model has he been when you were a younger football player? I mean, what kind of influence did he have on you maybe wanting to go into football, if any? I mean, did you, when you decided you were going to play football instead of other sports, was it, hey, I want to be like this guy, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a young athlete and you play any sport and you don't look up to guys like Tom Brady, then you're crazy. I mean, the guy that's had success year in and year out continues to make himself better and not be satisfied with where he's at. He's the type of greatness that you strive to be like and to be towards as you grow up. And so for me, I grew up watching him play, and he's still here playing, and he's still at the top of the game. So for me, I continue to watch him and watch the things that he does on and off the field in order to figure out the best way to make me the best player possible.
Let's go next to Brian Costello. Go ahead, Brian.
Patrick, just wondering if you could describe what this last year has been like for you, going back to the Super Bowl last year, all the success you've had in the field, getting the contract, expecting your new baby. Just try to imagine having a better year than the one you've had.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of ups and downs. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, obviously, winning the Super Bowl, amazing. Being able to celebrate that first championship in 50 years in the Chiefs Kingdom, the parade, all that was awesome. And then we got hit with the pandemic. And I think as a country and as the world, we all strive to continue to try to keep each other safe and keep ourselves safe. And then with all the social injustices and things going on in that realm, as a nation, we've had to find ways to strive and make ourselves better there. And then now back into football season and then back in another Super Bowl. I mean, it's full of ups and downs. And I've just kind of realized that I can control what I can control. And that is to be the best person, the best player, and the best person in the community that I can be every single day.
Let's go next to Caleb Byrne. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hi, Mr. Mahomes. Thank you so much and congrats.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
So I know one of your buds, Tyrann Mathieu, is nicknamed the Honey Badger for how he plays on the field. But what do you think your spirit animal nickname is?
Man, spirit animal nickname. I would like to be like a wolf. I feel like a wolf, kind of running around with my pack and being able to be a leader and someone that continues to attack and continues to lead as much as possible.
What about your bud, Travis Kelce? What do you think his is?
Travis, man, it's got to be something funny. I think he'd be like a giraffe. He's kind of just out there grazing around the field, trying to make something happen. Find his different things that he can run around and do stuff with, and he's always a good time.
All right, thank you so much, and good luck on the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
Let's go next to James Palmer. Go ahead, James.
Patrick, Tom's very open about guys your age, if they want to put the time in with their bodies, can play to the age that he's playing at. Have you thought of that as a barometer? If you want to play to 43, 45, and do you already start putting your body through that about maybe having that?
I mean, yeah, you have to. I think that's the biggest thing. If you want to play this sport for a long time, how physical it is, you have to invest as much time into your body as you do anything else. And so I've learned more and more in my young career so far about what I can do to keep myself available and healthy and try to be in the best nutritional state I can be in. I feel like I've gotten better, but yeah, I want to play as long as they let me. But in order to do that, I have to take care of my body as much as I take care of everything else on the field.
Let's go next to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Hey, Andy talked last week, and he called you a gym rat. And I know you put in countless hours during the regular season, and you just talked about routine. And I know that you have different media responsibilities this week, but do you feel like you're putting in more or less time at the facility with everything that's happening this week?
Yeah, definitely more. I mean, you got to kind of invest everything you possibly can for this game, especially playing the team that we're playing. I think I used the last week as a normal game week, put all the film down, got the different breakdowns in, everything like that, and then took advantage of every practice day that we had. Then I'm just going to restart it and do it all over again this week. And so having the 2 weeks, you don't want to take a day for granted. Obviously, you have to do the media stuff, and you're appreciative of that and being able to come out here and talk to everybody. But at the same time, you make sure that you're getting your work done that prepares you for the game. That's the most important thing.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Adam's gone. He's with Andy Reid.
Adam? We'll come back. Let's go to Angel Wells. Go ahead, Angel.
Hey, Patrick. With you facing an all-time great and arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady this Super Bowl, how does it feel at the age of 25 that people are already saying you can become one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time when your career is over?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously really exciting to hear, but you understand that you're really far away. There's so much stuff that can happen in this league and this game that all I can focus on is trying to do whatever I can to win the next game that I play in. And so it's going to be a great opportunity for me to get to play against Tom, all-time great, the GOAT, everything like that. But at the end of the day, all I can do is prepare myself to play the best football I can every single day I get the opportunity to.
Let's go next to Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
Patrick, I know in listening to Tom this morning, he was very complimentary of the whole team and talked about how it's a team game. And I know you're the same way when you discuss it. But there's only one position that they put wins and losses next to, and that's the quarterback spot. I know how competitive you guys have to be. This is likely your last matchup with Tom. It'd be 4 years from now if you'd see him again in the regular season, or you'd have to meet obviously in a Super Bowl again. Being 2-2, being that he has the one win against you in the postseason, does that make this one even more? I mean, is there even more of a fire in you to make sure that you get this win and have that 3-2 advantage?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not fired up to play in the Super Bowl, then I don't know what else can make you get any more fired up. I mean, to be able to play in the Super Bowl and try to repeat is enough in its own. I mean, they said that the last game that we played was going to be the last time that we played. So I'm sure he'll have to have something to say about that, trying to make Super Bowls, and I'll be trying to make more too. So, I mean, I'm definitely excited for this opportunity to go up against them and against that team. It's gonna be a great game, and I'm glad that we're back in this game and getting a chance to win another Super Bowl.
Let's go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick. I apologize if something similar has been asked already, but you guys have been saying since February you wanted to run it back, and every champion wants to do that. But what's it say about your team, your teammates, this whole organization that you guys are now back in a situation where you can run it back?
Yeah, I think it's just we have a great culture, a great group of people, and some great leaders in this locker room. Guys that weren't satisfied with just winning one Super Bowl, they wanted to be back in this game and they want to win it. And so they knew that it took hard work every single day. We couldn't just show up and be back in this game, and they put in the work. And so I'm just excited to have another opportunity to accomplish our main goal, and that's to win the Super Bowl.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, you know I always like to pester you about watching film. And I'm just curious, I mean, when you've got 2 weeks, and especially when it's a team that you've already seen during the regular season, is there any way you attack it different? I mean, are there different things that you pick up, or is there a different, plan to your attack when you've got this time against a team like this?
Yeah, in a sense, but at the same time, it's very similar. I mean, you just watch more games, you get a better feel for the defense. You try to think of something they could present to you. You look at different coverages and how they play and see if you can get different tells. It's a strange thing. You get an extra week and you try to find different things. At the same time, you don't want to be looking for ghosts and looking for different stuff on the field. You want to be able to play fast and be who you are. And so for me, I'm just going to try to prepare myself the best way possible to have answers for every coverage that they can throw our way and try to get the ball to all these playmakers I have around me.
Let's go next to Jonathan Jones.
Hey, Patrick, now that you've gone through a Super Bowl, now that you've had a road game, especially this year in Tampa, how much mental envisioning do you do for the game on Sunday, and when do you do that? And then finally, do you try to manifest a win through positive thoughts, or do you just kind of more prepare for everything good and or bad?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely envision every game you play in, but especially these ones, the big ones, having 2 weeks. You try to envision making that play. You envision all the positive things that you can do in the game to help your team. But at the same time, you go in with a blank slate and ready for everything. Being down in games, being up in games, finding ways to win. I think that's the biggest thing, and I think I'll give a lot of guys in the locker room that know how to do that.
Let's go next to the Play 60 super kid, Amaya Brannon. Go ahead, Amaya.
Hi, Mahomes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So my question for you is, even though I'm a Bucs fan, can I still be a Mahomie? If so, what is a Mahomie?
Oh, you can always be a Mahomie. A Mahomie is just someone that loves to help others and loves to be a part of the community and making the world a better place.
Thank you.
Let's go next to Luke Easterling.
Patrick, when we talked to Tom Brady last week, actually, he had mentioned that, Super Bowl experience isn't what matters. It's who plays well for those 4 quarters, right? So I wonder if you agree with that, but also whether it's his, longevity in terms of experience in the Super Bowl or your own, having just played on this stage last year, if you do think there is an advantage that can influence your execution and your ability to play well for those 4 quarters because of that experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think, once you played in one big game, you understand what it's like. And then after that, it's all about just going out there and executing and finding ways to win. Every single football game is different. You never know what to expect, but you try to make sure you're prepared for as many situations as possible. And so it's going to be a great game. I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for whatever it entails.
Let's go next to Chris Lilly. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Patrick, I was wondering what can you say about Byron Pringle's ability to make the most of each opportunity despite, his limited snaps each game? And do you ever see him not smiling?
No, and that smiles all the time. I mean, and that's the type of attitude that he has and he works with. He always has a positive attitude when he's in the locker room. Every single rep he takes, he's 120%. And whenever his number gets called, he makes plays. And so I'm excited for him to get to play in a Super Bowl in his hometown. And I'm excited that he is who he is, and I get to have him on my team.
Let's go next to Adam Kilgore. Go ahead, Adam.
Hi, Patrick. What makes Travis Kelce different or unique in the way he goes about getting open? And as part of that, is there anything that he does, whether it's like reading coverages or the way he makes himself available, that you can tell he used to play quarterback at a reasonably high level?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the way he's able to read coverages on the move and have an understanding for what the defense is doing and what we want as an offense and how to get himself and others open is what makes him so special. He does a great job of not caring who gets the ball. He just wants to make a positive play for his team, and that's what makes him so special. And definitely the quarterbacking in his history is kind of it gives him that understanding of how to run routes.
Let's go next to Pat Leonard. Go ahead, Pat.
Hey, Patrick. At what point did you and Andy Reid and your offense realize that you were, let's say, for lack of a better way of describing it, pushing the limits of what you can expect from an offense? And how do you stay on the cutting edge of that? Like, how do you stay on the cutting edge of being the team that is kind of opening people's eyes that an offense can do more than we thought, and it can actually then do even better than it did the year before, and kind of be the team that every other team is now going and hunting a quarterback and the kind of offense that you have?
I think we just challenge each other every single day. We do whatever we can to put guys in the best situation possible. And then we try to do different things that we haven't seen before and that we've kind of made up on the fly. And so we try, and hopefully it's positive, and we try to put that into our offense. But if we have a negative play, we just forget about it and keep moving on and keep trying to figure out ways to make it better. And that's what Coach Reid kind of instills in the whole team, and you can see it on the field on Sundays.
Let's go next to Mark Potash. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Patrick. Tom Brady said that you have the ability to focus when the moments are biggest. How much do you value that trait, and do you feel that is a gift? Is that innate, or is that something that you have developed as you've competed more in throughout your career?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think for me, it's more I just want to win, and I don't care how that happens. I'm gonna do whatever I can and get every ounce of effort and everything on the field. And I, luckily enough, I have a lot of good players around me that make my job easier. And so I just leave everything I have on the field, try to do whatever I can to win the football game. And we've had a lot of success these last few years, and we're going to try to continue it as long as we can.
Let's go next to Rachel Lindsay. Go ahead, Rachel.
Thank you so much. What's up, Patrick? How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. So it's been a big year for you so far. You've been engaged, or you are engaged, soon to be father. You're going to the Super Bowl again after Sunday. What's the first thing that you're going to do? And what's your favorite part about preparing to be a father right now? I see the way you smile when some of the kid reporters ask you questions.
Yeah, I think after Sunday, I mean, hopefully we win and I can kind of celebrate with my teammates as much as possible. And then after that, I'm preparing to be a dad, and I mean, it's going to be special to have a baby girl, and to be there and be a part of it and be able to just do whatever I can to be the best dad I possibly can. And luckily enough, I have a great support system around me that can help teach me, with the guys in this locker room, my parents, the community in Kansas City, to help teach me to be the best dad I possibly can be.
Let's go next to Dave Skretta. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, catch up on your sleep before that baby comes. So much is being made of you and Tom, and I'm curious, when you look at Tom, do you see some of yourself in him and vice versa? And maybe where do you guys kind of diverge in your two styles?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the competitive drive. I mean, he's the same way as I am. He's going to leave everything he has on the field every single time he's out there to win. And he doesn't care what it takes. He doesn't care if he has to throw for 400 yards or if he has to throw for 100 yards. He wants to win. And I feel like I have that same mentality. Is I just want to win no matter what happens and how it happens. And as far as differ, I mean, it's just I don't necessarily know yet because I'm still growing. And I mean, he's still getting better and better. And so I just try to do whatever I can to win. And I know he's pretty much the same way.
We'll go next to Ken Cruz. Go ahead, Ken.
Hey, Patrick. So I know you mentioned that you've had 2 weeks, or you have 2 weeks to prepare. And, but you do have some off time, right? I think you said last year something about watching live BD. What are you using to get some entertainment in?
The one thing I really did is last week when we had a couple of off nights, I played a little bit of Call of Duty. But other than that, I just kind of sit around, study a little bit at the house with Brittany, and then we watch TV and whatever's on. I might catch a movie or watch Law and Order or Chicago PD or whatever's on TV at the time.
Let's go next to Rob. Maddie, go ahead.
Hey, Patrick, I apologize if you've been asked this question. I've been bouncing around Zooms. I know you're focused on the second one, but given how young you are and the talent that you have around you, how much do you think about the possibility of getting back here again and again and trying to do with Andy what Tom was able to do with Bill Belichick?
I'm a pretty big believer of staying in the moment. I mean, you never know what to expect, what challenges you're going to face the next day. And so I just try to embrace every single day and every opportunity that I'm blessed with. And so right now I'm focused on this one, trying to do whatever I can to find a way to win. And then once we hopefully do that, then I'll focus on next year and try to make myself better in whatever way possible so that we can be back in this game next year.
And let's go next to Blair with the BBC. Go ahead, Blair.
Hi, Patrick. So as people have touched on already, this year has been so entirely different from previous years. We're talking about preparing differently. We've heard from Brady, we've heard from some other players how kind of this lack of distractions has almost helped their game, being able to study film more, being able to prepare, relax. How has this helped you, and how is this different from last year where there was so much excitement in Miami, your first Super Bowl versus this one?
Yeah, I mean, definitely more time to study film, more time to get even more practice time in, and then more time to just relax, I think would be the biggest thing. I mean, mentally, you can take off because you're in your own bed, you're in your own home, everything like that. And so I just try to treat every single day like it's another opportunity for me to get better. And I feel like everyone on our team does that. And we continue to get better and better, then we'll be in a good spot in the Super Bowl and give ourselves the best chance to go out there and win.
We'll go next to Adam Teicher.
Again?
Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick. Sounds like Demarcus Robinson has tested positive, and sounds like he maybe is not going to be available for the game. Just what kind of loss would that be if he couldn't play on Sunday?
Yeah, I don't know if he's tested positive, but yeah, obviously G-Rod's a big part of our offense, and hopefully he's out there with us. But if not, I mean, we have guys that have stepped up all season, so we just try to prepare to be the best team that we can be, and whoever's available is available.
Sorry, my bad. I guess he's been a close contact is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
We'll go next to Fernando Ramirez. Go ahead, Fernando.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Patrick, going back to the AFC Championship that you lost to Brady, from year one to year two, from you being a starter, what did you work on in that offseason to get better and to take that next step to make yourself a Super Bowl contending quarterback?
Yeah, I think you get in those big games and you learn from them how to start better, how to battle through adversity. I think with that first year, how hot we played and how we were able to jump on the scene and go out there and have a lot of success. That we didn't have those adverse moments of kind of building a team, of how to get through those together. And so losing in that AFC Championship game, we learned a ton in that game of how we have to improve ourselves so that we can find a way to get to the Super Bowl. And I think we did that last year, and we continue to battle through adversity this year.
Let's go next to Mark Topkin. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Pat.
See, it's live.
How you doing?
So I'll skip the Brady question since you've covered all those already. But two questions for you. One, not that the football thing didn't work out, but how good of a baseball player could you have been?
They call your name.
And secondly, prior to the November game here, have you been to Tampa before? Or any
that, and then I just talk. So it's pretty good.
To your first question, I feel like I had topped out in baseball. I feel like I don't know how much better I would have got. I played it my whole entire life. And I know when I went back to try to play baseball my freshman year of college, I wasn't the same player as I was my senior year of high school. So I don't know if I'd have made it. I'd have tried. I'd have worked my tail off to try to get there. But I'm definitely glad I chose football. And then your second question, I don't think I've been to Tampa. I could have when I was younger. My dad was playing spring training baseball kind of everywhere. I know the Yankees are down there, but he was never there. But he bounced around. So maybe I've kind of been there, but other than that, I don't think I've ever had been to actual Tampa, Florida.
Let's go next to Josh with the AP. Go ahead, Josh.
Patrick, what your relationship's like with Austin Ryder, and how important has he been to this offense, especially with all the injuries you guys have had on the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a great relationship between the center and quarterback. I mean, it always is. But with Austin, I mean, I've even opened up Pokemon cards with that guy before, so I think our relationship kind of on a high level after that. So no, it's he's been super important. We have the center who's been there, can kind of direct traffic, get guys going in the right direction. And it's definitely helps out when you have kind of a different group of guys working on the offensive line. But I mean, all those guys are tight, and guys are prepared. They've prepared all season for these moments, and I'm excited for them to get their opportunity against a great defensive line.
Let's go next to Ben Spiegel. Go ahead, Ben.
Patrick, I was wondering how you over the years have experimented with throwing from different arm angles. And do you have to gain a certain level of comfort with something that might seem unconventional like that before trying it out in a game?
I think it really started when I got into my high school career or into early college career. And I think it just started as a kind of a joke. We would mess around and throw at the net and try to have like different challenges, especially in college with Coach Kingsbury. And then we started trying it in practice and doing it in practice every now and then. And then now it's kind of taking a life of its own. And it's something that I'm very comfortable with, throwing different arm angles and staying accurate. And at the end of the day, you're just trying to find ways to get the ball to the playmakers around you. And if that takes a different arm angle, you have to use it and then get it to the place as most accurately you can.
Time.
Let's go next to D. Orlando Ledbetter.
Oh, D, there you go.
Go ahead.
Got to get D in.
Yeah, Patrick, just two real quick. What happened in that Falcons game? 17-14, y'all get the bomb late, but looked like they were doing things to have you throw some balls away. And then Tyreek and Mcdowell on the outside, those two Georgia guys with the speed they provide for the offense.
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons game, I think they had a good game plan. I mean, they came in, they were physical, they did a lot of good things, and they confused me whenever they needed to. And, I mean, they didn't win as many games as they wanted to, but if you look at that team, they got playmakers everywhere. And so they battled everybody all year long, but luckily enough, we're able to find a way to get a win. And then with Tyreek and Mcdowell, I mean, they're both just playmakers. That's what they are. I mean, they're great receivers. They can make plays running the ball. They can make plays downfield. They can run the routes intermediately. I mean, and I always joke with them that Texas football is a little bit better than Georgia, but they definitely got the speed out in Georgia for sure.
Let's go next to Danny with the Ringer. Go ahead, Danny.
Hey, Pat. First of all, I got to know you mentioned Call of Duty. I got to know your Warzone creative class. And then second of all, you mentioned in March that you didn't really know how to read defenses until midway through 2019. I am really curious how much you've grown at reading defenses this season.
Okay, folks, I'm going to
well, I don't play Call of Duty a ton. So when I hopped back on this last week, I don't play in season except for the bye weeks. So I hopped back on. They told me to go with the Kilo and the Mac 10. So that's what I was rolling with when I played the other day. And then ask your second question again. I got completely off track when you start talking about Call of Duty.
No, you're good. First of all, Kilo, you got good friends. That's a good advice.
I'm going to Tyreek Hill's room.
Play football and, eat some Tootsie Rolls here and there. So besides that, I'm good. I simplify it,
All right, next we'll go to Zennie Abraham.
Hey, Mr. Hill, Mr. Hill. How are you, Mr. Hill? Zennie Abraham, Zennie62 Media. Hey, wanted to know what you thought. A question about a common opponent in their brand new stadium, the Raiders and Allegiant Stadium, and playing it. You guys won there, so what do you think about it?
Oh, the stadium is amazing, man. Like, it was crazy. Like, I can just, I felt the energy without even having fans there. So I can just, I can't even imagine it with fans. So I already know it's gonna be crazy, So it was a great place to play, man. It was a great place to play. So the Raiders definitely chose the right destination to put their team.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Seren Petro.
Tyreek, you guys have done such a great job in sweeping teams when you play them twice and owning the AFC West. You got kind of a similar situation here in the sense that you got to play this team a second time. What do you have to be? What makes you guys so successful at being able to win and then turn right around and be able to do it again?
Well, it's being different. A lot of teams, across this league, like they do the same things over and over and over again. But the one thing about Eric Bieniemy and Coach Reed, they spend, so much time in the office, drawing up these plays. Like one week it may look like this, and then the next week it could be completely different. Like we could have a running back doing a primary route, which is crazy, So just that, man, like just being able to like just have that ability and just have so many weapons, at your need is amazing, for those guys, so they get to pick and choose where they want to put guys, so yeah, that's how we've been successful all year.
Next, we'll go to Blair Tedty. Oh, there we go.
Hi, Blair Tavy with the BBC. You've said before that you love competing. Competition is really big for you.
Yeah.
What bit of, it's a whole competition in and of itself, but what part of the competition are you most excited about?
Just going against the DBs. I know for a fact, their guys are going to win some plays and our guys are going to win some plays, so I just love going like man versus man, like you beat him or he beat you, so just having that, is just amazing. And the 50-50 balls in the air, just that, being able to just come down with those is just the best feeling ever. You stand up, you scream, you get the crowd going, it's amazing. It's the best feeling ever, so.
All right, next we'll go to Shelby Allen.
Hey again, Tyreek. There's a lot of controversy over the definition of a true dynasty in sports. Do you think that back-to-back wins would do it here, or would you need a third?
We just got to keep working, man. That's all we got to do, just keep working. I know I said in the past that we're going for 7 rings, but right now, man, our focus is just, just winning this game. So, yeah. Would I like to be a part of a dynasty? Yes, I would, though. Yes, I would.
All right, next we'll go to Kevin Weishaus.
Yes. Hey, Tyreek. Greetings from Germany, first of all. I was wondering, obviously on the offense, you're often lined up in the slot or you're lined up on the outside. Could you talk about how it helps you being lined up in the slot and be more effective for the offense of Kansas City?
Well, I don't know, man, because I feel like you can do a little bit more from the slot, whether it's going deep, doing shallow crosses or doing jet sweeps. Like you can do a little bit more from the slot, so playing slot actually benefits me, a lot because I can use my speed against linebackers or nickelbacks or whoever it may be, plus there's more room to go inside or outside, so there are a lot of things that play into factor when dealing with me going into the slot, so, but I'd rather play outside receiver any day though, like if you want to be known as one of the best, you got to be an outside receiver. To me, that's in my opinion.
All right, next we'll go to Mitchell Summers.
Hey, Tyreek, I wonder how much do you guys still think about that AFC Conference Championship game a few years ago? The only time that Patrick Mahomes has lost in the playoffs was that AFC Conference Championship game against the Patriots. I wonder how much do you guys still think about that, and I wonder how much does it fire you up to help bring you to where you guys are today?
I don't think about it at all. I just go play ball, man. Like if you started looking in the past, then you old news, Like our job is to just look forward and just look for the future, and that's this game coming up this Sunday, So that's how we've been doing.
All right, next we'll go to Tom Akins.
Tyreek, talk to me about what you think the keys to victory will be if the Chiefs are to win their second straight Super Bowl. What's it going to take to get it done?
What do you? So this is Tyreek keys to victory. Yes, let's go. Tyreek keys to victory. 1, get Tyreek the ball. 2, get Tyreek the ball. 3, I'm not even gonna say that. But for real, man, honestly, I would say, just play well up front. I feel like both sides of the ball, offensive line, defensive line, bigs gotta dominate the game all game. Whether that's offensive line protecting Pat or whether that's defensive line affecting Tom Brady. The second key to the game is we gotta score on special teams. We gotta get Byron Pringle in the end zone, or we gotta create some crazy turnover. Pick it up, scoop and score.
Folks,
and then 3, we just gotta play as a team, play together, no egos involved, no pride involved. We just go out there and play hard and let Pat control the ship, because obviously he's the captain of the Magic School Bus. So we just let Pat do his thing. That's Tyreek Hill's 3 keys to victory. We'll be back after this commercial.
The rooms are closed.
Let's go.
The rooms are closed. You can't switch back anymore.
All right, and then last one we'll go to Melissa Jacobs.
Oh, seriously, last one? I was joking.
Yeah, they were like, wow, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, Tyreek. Sorry if you've been asked this already. I've been Zoom hopping, but can you just share your thoughts? I know Zoom hopping is a thing today. Can you share your thoughts on Eric Bieniemy being shut out of this coaching cycle?
Thank you for saving me.
Well,
Thank
man,
you.
it's definitely tough, but the way that I feel like the way that EB thinks is, his time will come soon, so his main focus has been just winning the Super Bowl. I can tell, by the way he's been on guys this whole last week, the whole entire last week he's been on guys, head about, working hard. So he, that time has passed, and like I said, his time will come, and when his time does come, he's going to be an amazing coach.
I guess that's it, folks. I still have my hand raised, but that was.
All right, thanks, Tyreek.
Oh, that's it?
Yep, you're good.
Bro, come on, Luke, bro.
I know, man. Jeez.
Come on, Luke, bro. I done got comfortable now, Luke. I'm finna sit here for a minute.
Oh. He's I bet you he's on Instagram, folks. This is actually a shorter time than
Luke.
This is actually a shorter time than the Buccaneers. We got 2 hours. You could switch from room to room with some relative ease. This time they got 1 hour.
All right,
that's
we're all set.
it. They've got,
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. How's it going?
And that's it. There's nobody. I'm checking the rooms. There's nobody else available. I thought maybe they go on for 2 hours too, but their time was really tight. Really tight. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, they've ended all of the interactions. Going back to the homepage, see if there's something else going on. I know that's to be it. That's it, because we had Bucks assistants this morning, and then the media availability they had 11 o'clock rolled in. Chiefs just had one. Now tomorrow morning, the Chiefs will have another media availability at 9:30, and then they have the assistant coaches at 11 o'clock at Tuesday. So we'll be back tomorrow. So this isn't. Then we'll have another Buccaneers. We'll have an NFL Network analyst media availability at 1 o'clock. Goes to 2. And then we'll have the Buccaneers media availability that goes from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And that's tomorrow. So we definitely get other bites at the apple. Like, for example, if I click on the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be Coach Reed and Coach Mahomes again, Sammy Watkins, Bashir Breeland, Le'Veon Bell, Darrell Williams, Daryl Sorensen, Harrison Buckner, Mike Rimmers, Juan Thornhill. That's tomorrow for the Chiefs to start out the morning. And, that's at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, which is, 6:30 in the morning on the West Coast. How about that? Okay. And then we'll have the Kansas City Chiefs assistant coaches availability. That'll be Tom Melvin, the tight ends, Dylan McCullough, running backs, Andy Heck, offensive line, Greg Lewis, wide receivers, Mike Kafka, quarterbacks, passing game coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, Brett Reed, linebackers, Sam Madison, defensive backs, David Merritt, defensive backs, Matt House, linebackers, Brendan Daly, run game coordinator, Dave Taub, assistant head coach, special teams coordinator. And then we will have, let's see here. We will have, I'm talking to you, but in fairness to you, let me show you what I'm looking at so you can get some idea of what's happening here. And what I'm talking about, it doesn't necessarily need to be a secret, does it? That's not it. And that is it. Yeah. This is what I'm looking at, okay? You see that? That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm referring to. And so I'll scroll up again for your understanding as to what I'm talking about. That's Dave Taub. Then, of course, Matt House, Brendan Daly. These are the assistant coaches, Spagnuolo for the Chiefs, Bieniemy, Kafka, Lewis, the McCullough, and Melvin. We go back to the home page here, like so, the calendar, all right? And then we have the NFL Network analyst media availability. Don't know quite who that's going to be. And then we've got the Buccaneers, and that's Coach Arians, Levante David. That's at 1 o'clock tomorrow, okay? Cameron Braid, Carlton Davis, James Dean, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, LaShawn McCoy, Sean Murphy Bunting, Ryan Suckup. And that's tomorrow. So that's the lineup tomorrow. And then we go back and we've got Wednesday, the NFL Network's in the morning, CBS Media Day, the Buccaneers. Who's CBS? CBS is the Super Bowl today, pregame team media availability, the rules analyst, Gene Sarator, and the pregame contributors, Ian Eagle and Charles Davis. Charles Davis, I'll be there for that. Charles Davis is a good man, a good friend. Well, not a good friend. He's a friend, but we're whatever. Got to interview Charles Davis. And then they call this that other pregame show, media availability. Amy Trask will be there. So, boom, we got to go in and talk to Amy. It's going to be a lot of fun. Talk to Amy. So there's another round out for you. And that's on Wednesday, February 3rd, right? And then on Thursday, in the 11:30 in the morning Eastern, we have the Pepsi Super Bowl 55 halftime news conference. Okay. Then we will have, that's 11:30 to 12:30. That's going to be with the weekend, right? And then we're going to have the Buccaneers media availability, and we don't know who that's going to be. That's the magic. It's like the, what is that thing that they used to call when you didn't quite know what you're going to get? Well, this is that thing, right? Podium 10, don't know 9, we don't know. Whoever's available, we don't know. We just know that there's going to be something. Okay, so that's interesting. And so then, and now in normal NFL parlance, that would be marked TBA, or to be announced, or TBD, to be determined, right? And then, of course, we have at 2 o'clock Eastern, the commissioner, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell news conference Thursday. And that'll go from 2 to 3. Then we're back to the who does what podium 10. So you're gonna get a lot of bites at the apple this week of players to and coaches to interview, and then you'll have the NFL. This is the NFL Players Association news conference, which is their version of the state of the NFL from the players' perspective. That's on Thursday. And then Friday, just the NFL Network analyst media availability. Saturday, we'll have NFL honors. Yay. That's definitely added to my calendar. And then Sunday, we'll have the post-game availability. Okay? So you know where to come. And then the thank you, this is the Monday, a week from today. Thank you, Tampa Bay Host Committee closing news conference. Always great. It always includes the passing of the football, in this case to Los Angeles. So that rounds out the week. If you haven't subscribed to Zennie62 Media, or excuse me, Zennie62 on YouTube, you're missing out. All right. There's the calendar. You are missing out. So if there's any particular player you want me to make sure to try to focus on, even if I can't get a question in, fine. With Tyreek Hill, I actually did get him to answer a question about Legion Stadium, but what happened was I had a feel this. You know how life works. You think something's going to happen, and it does. And the lesson I've tried to teach myself is, if you think something's going to happen, be prepared for when it happens. In this case, I wasn't. I thought that as soon as I shifted away from Patrick Mahomes and went to Tyreek Hill, right, and I pressed my hand up, I was going to get called on. That was my feeling. But I didn't go with my feeling. You know what I did? I went over to make another adjustment. I went off screen, and so I didn't reshift the screen so that Tyreek Hill was in the screen. I had assumed that was an automatic switch over, if that makes sense. Okay, it wasn't. I had to actually go. I would have to go back and then call up his page, and I didn't do that. Then my name got called. And so I shifted over, and I had to ask the question or lose out. And I asked the question about Legion Stadium. And what Hill said was that, and I hope the audio came through. I don't know that it did. I hope it did. I have to go back and check. But what Hill said was that it was exciting playing in Allegiant Stadium, and there weren't people in the stands. Imagine what it would be like if there were people in the stands. That's what he said. Then I tried to get in a follow-up question along those lines. I wanted to ask about Eric Bieniemy, but fortunately I got saved by someone else in that. You heard that answer, at least one of those answers, about one version of the answer about Eric Bieniemy and the whole coaching issue. All right. Thank you all very much for being a part of this. And again, if there's any request, player you want to specifically see, or question you have that you want asked, just send me an email to here. See that? Zennie at Zennie62.com. And remember just to press the subscribe button on YouTube and subscribe so you don't miss it when we come on live. All right. Okay, folks. Thanks, and I'll see everybody later. That ends this broadcast.